Cruise news time. And look, just because it's Casual Friday doesn't mean we don't have some sharply dressed, serious cruise news, including a sad story of an older cruise ship being asked to leave to make way for the hot new sexy cruise ship. And a cruise nightmare is playing out on a celebrity cruise where a poor woman has lost her luggage overboard. The suitcase in the drink. She's getting compensated. Is it fair? I don't know. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lita Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on a Friday the 12th of July, 2024. And I am just 7 days away from putting my little feet right on the decks of the world's newest, youngest, sexiest cruise ship, Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. And you know that's going to happen over in Port Canaveral, which is one of the most popular cruise ports in the world. And look, we've all been observers of life. To the young and beautiful go the spoils, and it's like that in cruising also. With the appearance of Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas, an older cruise ship has to move on. Allure of the Seas has finished her stint in Port Canaveral, and now she's going to relocate down to Miami, which is fitting. I mean, of course, there's a lot of young, beautiful people in Miami, but there's a bunch of older, beautiful people in Miami also. And now Allure of the Seas is going to be the weekend hottie for Miami. After doing a week cruise right now, she's going to start doing 3 and 4 day short cruises, one over the weekend, one during the week. Allure of the Seas was launched back in 2009. So I guess that puts her at about the 15-year-old mark. Used to be the world's largest cruise ship. And now she's just right there in the middle of that pack of the Oasis class of Royal Caribbean cruise ships. And she's been usurped. She's been displaced by the new cruise ship Utopia of the Seas. All these ships are nice. Who are we kidding here? But Allure. Enjoy your trip to Miami. Cruise news story number 2, and this one's for all you theater nerds out there, which I would include myself in that number. A huge announcement coming out from Holland America Line that they're going to bring out 15 brand new production shows on their Voyages cruise. So this is like just 2 cruises. They're going to have 15 brand new production shows. These shows were developed by Blackburn International. I don't know who that is, but the way it's written in the articles, like that's somebody important. Blackburn International gonna feature shows around popular artists, Carole King, Fleetwood Mac, 8 singers, 8 dancers, and they're gonna also bring in local talent to supplement those onboard production talent to come up with these 15 new shows. I like it because sometimes when you get on these long cruises, there's a risk of just being a repetition of the shows. Well, au contraire, mon frere, is what Holland America is saying. It's really an extraordinary feat. Let me tell you a little bit about these 2 cruises. They start in January of 2025. One is on the Zuiderdam, 124-day grand voyage round trip from Fort Lauderdale. Starts early January the 4th. 49 ports of call, 30 countries, 6 continents. And then the Volendam is going to sell a 133-day grand voyage pole to pole. And that one's also going to be from Fort Lauderdale round trip. It's going to leave January the 25th. Sails down the coast of South America to Antarctica and then up to the Arctic. 69 total ports of calls across 5 continents and 29 countries. A whole lot of activity anyways, well over 100 days on each of those cruises. During those 100 days, you're going to get 15 new production shows. That's just pretty good. It's like a production show every 4 or 5 days that's different. So yeah, I don't know. Again, I think if you're somebody who's a theater nerd or a music geek, that kind of thing, and you're going to take a long cruise, I think Holland America is definitely doing it right. That's a long cruise. Could you spend 100 days on a cruise ship? I don't know. Leave a comment below. Now, certainly we are progressing through this show, and I might as well talk about the elephant in the room. I did get a haircut and a beard trim. Thanks for asking. I cruise in a week, and so a week out seems like a long... I'm at that point in my life, if I wear my hair short, it quickly grows back out and it looks all cow-licky. I might have to start getting my hair cut once every 2 weeks. Right now I do about once every 6 weeks, which is probably too long. But I know some people get their hair cut every week. But I think I'm gonna have to get another haircut before my cruise. But it was just getting annoying to me. But for those that have already noticed and were curious about it, yes, I did get my ears lowered today. Did that always freak you out when you're a kid? Hey, look who got their ears lowered. What is this person saying? My ears lowered. Almost cut my hair. Happened just the other day. It was getting kind of long. Could have said it was getting in my way, but I didn't. And I don't know why. Eventually, I'm just trying to get to the part where it says, let your freak flag fly. Shout out, Ludacris. Yeah, so that's the haircut story. I also got some comments that the La Lita Loca is on a different side. Stay with me. I'll give you a brief tour of what I've done here in the studio, but let's keep the cruise news rolling. Big news coming out of Nassau, Bahamas. The big news over the last month is that Royal Caribbean is developing part of the port area there in Nassau. It's kind of on the other side of the port, where they're going to have a private beach club where people can pay money, they can spend money and go spend time off of the cruise ship at Royal Caribbean's own private beach club. I believe it's only for Royal Caribbean passengers, but that's got to be concerning to people in the Bahamas, because if you're just going to keep throwing money at Royal Caribbean when you go to Nassau, how is that going to help the local economy of Nassau? I'm sure there's some back-end taxation. I'm sure, Nassau is going to get some of that money that's happening at the Royal Beach Club. But the planners, the management there in Nassau said, you know what we could do? We could build ourselves a water park. We got this nice new port area where people don't even have to leave the fenced area to go into Nassau. I don't know how the businesses on the other side of the fence feel about that. That's a whole nother discussion. But there's already been a huge investment there in the port area of Nassau. It is really nice, but they have some extra space behind their amphitheater. So you know what they're going to do? $35 million water park. That's right. They're going to make what I would feel like is competition to the Royal Caribbean Beach Club and say, look, don't go all the way to the other side of the port there or cross the waterway to get to the Royal Caribbean Beach Club. Why don't you come to our water park? About 30,000 passengers a day stop in Nassau. The new Royal Beach Club can accommodate around 2,700 passengers. So that still leaves a boatload of passengers that will have money to spend on a fun activity in Nassau. And I think it's very smart of the local planners and the local management there to do something like a water park. I think that will get a lot of people to go there. Water park in Nassau, is this something you'd be interested in? Leave a comment below. Now, I've got to tell you the cruise nightmare story of the soggy luggage and the compensation, and see if that compensation is fair. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, I'm feeling the power. Cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on, that way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. All right, let's talk about this distraught cruiser right here. Her name is Lindsay Hargsheimer. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. She embarked a celebrity cruise ship in Amsterdam, and it seems like everything was going well until shortly after the cruise ship departed, and she never got her luggage. And so she switched off of the cruise ship Wi-Fi. She turned on her cell signal just to see if anything would happen, and something did happen. She received communication on her mobile device from someone in Amsterdam who had fished her luggage out of the canal. Somewhere during the embarkation process, her luggage had been knocked into the water, and while that left poor Lindsay on that celebrity cruise, sans luggage, with only the clothes on her back, and I'm assuming her phone, because she was able to make a TikTok explaining all of this. She did go to the management there at Celebrity, and she had some response in the beginning. They gave her like a $400 credit. They gave her some accommodation. But as her story became more widespread, so did the dialogue with Celebrity Cruise Line, and she has been further compensated. It's been verified that her luggage is gone, including her medication. We need to talk about that in a second. But at the end of the day, she has been given a $1,000 onboard credit, which she is able to take as cash at the end of her cruise. They're also going to be providing her with brand new luggage. They have given her 2 specialty dinings. They've offered her some spa amenities. They also sent some flowers to her cabin. They sent her some chocolate-covered strawberries. Excitingly, the medical staff on board was able to give her the medication that she needed that she lost in her bag. And it's interesting. The question is, does that seem like enough compensation? There is a kind of a funny part of the story. While she was, going through all of this, she had like the one pair of pants that she had, and she sent it out to the cleaners, and apparently those got lost. So it just, like I said, sometimes these cruise nightmares are non-wake, like you never wake up from the cruise nightmare. Sounds like she's had a rough time, but it also sounds like Celebrity is trying to help her out. The one thing that's kind of a big cautionary tale, like you can't help it if they lose your luggage or it gets knocked into the water, but the one thing that you can help is where your medication is. And so, no shade on Lindsay, but just something that we can all learn from this. If you're cruising, keep that medication with you, because you never know what's going to happen to that checked-in bag. And look, I don't know what the numbers are, but I would be surprised if it's even 1% of the luggage that gets lost. But it's like every other outlier that hits social media or all these. It's a big deal. Certainly, we can empathize with the challenges that she's going through, and most of us won't ever have to deal with lost luggage, but some of us will. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it was fair compensation? Have you ever had your luggage lost on a cruise? Leave a comment below. Okay, let me see if I can switch the program here over to this camera. Oh, wow. Okay, and yeah, I guess I have. Let me give you a quick tour around the office. Turn this light on so you don't think that I work in darkness. So, a lot of people ask the question, like, is your studio at home? It's not at home. I have a 2-room office. This is kind of the storage part of it. I essentially work in darkness on that end. I do like to keep a mood here, but this is like, refrigerator, supplies, Brutus the Barber beefcake, first appearance of the Black Cat in Spider-Man, just stuff. And then I did switch this room around because I wanted to make a space to make Lego content. And so I've got this area here. I brought these shelves from my house, and I need to fill them up with Lego. I do have a couple great Lego sets here to work on: the Titanic, the Back to the Future DeLorean. The Lolita Loca set used to be right here. So that's where it moved from. And then, as you guys so astutely realized, that I changed where Lolita Loca was. I liked it over my other shoulder. Here's the set and the shelves. Not much has changed. Of course, the Fantasy was the first cruise ship I was ever on. I do have some Lego on this set, the Ship in the Bottle. Son recently gave me Deadpool as a tourist. And just some stuff that I've been gifted. You got the whole Gilligan's Island crew up there. You got the Dutch pottery from Curacao. This is a clock that Jenny's grandpa owned, Grandpa Petey, who I became friends with. I don't put a battery in it, I just leave it. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's always 5 o'clock here in the Lolita Loca studio. And then, yeah, this is my desk setup. I got a microphone there, camera, all of it's connected to my computer. And this is where I do the show from. And there's Spock, live long and prosper. I was gonna say I need to turn the light back off. It's pretty bright with the light on, but there you go, a little BTS. Hey, look, if you want to see what the brand new Nassau cruise port looks like, I did a full walking tour of it. It's worth checking out, and you can see that amphitheater where the new water park is going to go. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Tony for Lolita Loca. Till the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.